As we have been discussing, tasya hetuhu avidya ityarthaha. So that means viparya jnana comes because of vasana, in short. So when this avidya, that means what? When this mithya jnana, when this sort of sanskara the person has, so definitely the person will have more karyanistha. So will be more committed to karya, action. So karmanistha. Because why karmanistha comes, that also we'll see. Let me not go back. So while discussing this thing says, this is the sutra 25. Tad abhavat sanyoga abhavaha hanam tad drishehe kaivalyam. So that means what? Tad abhavat. So abhava means the absence. So absence of that. Absence of what? Absence of avidya. So if ignorance is not there, then automatically what happens? He says, look, sayuga abhava. Definitely there is no need to have any karmanistha, any attachment. Very simple. If there is confusion in me, then only I'll run behind many things to achieve, not to achieve, to get, not to get. Because sometimes we work not to get, okay? Like for example, in election time, many people in Indian way, other every country has that, many people stand election not to win. So their job is to get defeated, but target is let me get defeated, also defeat others. So we call divide the votes. And they are being paid to stand for that. So that means what? I work to win, I also work not to win. What a funny concept, but this is how it works. So, he says, tad abhavat, because of the absence of avidya, the ignorance, I would rather say, when the impact, we'll see next sutra in better way, when the impact of avidya does not disturb me, doesn't allow me to get carried away, then only what will happen? Sayoga, the relationship, the attachment, definitely will be reduced and slowly it will go to abhava. Why and how? Please observe this point. It is a very systematic growth. Only one can understand. And we cannot judge anybody. I see many Swamijis in their young age, they will be completely, let us say, free from all sort of responsibility, you can use the word. No ashram, nothing they want, they will be completely isolated. मौज में रहने के लिए तैयार है. So they are in their happy mood. Comes, goes, makes no difference. I have seen many of them. And same Swamijis, When they are supposed to be in Maujam, okay, supposed to be in this stage, they get into so much into mess. Only they run, wanting to get up, how to look at this, how to look at that. Sometimes it looks very funny, okay, there are many cases. We are not judging here, please understand. The concept here is, you can say because of their prarabdha, this is how it has happened. You may say that, okay. It is only because of prarabdha, nothing else. But really, it is a prarabdha or one's own lack of commitment towards the knowledge that only one can figure it out. Why and how? I'll give you another example to take this point. As all of you know, this is a very popular version everywhere, everybody knows, that do you decide your future, or do you decide to continue with your habit? Just look at all the decisions that you have made in your life, including today. All your decision, is it related to future, or is it related to your habit? I can close my eyes and say, all the decision making process is related to my habit. Nobody decides anything for one's own future. Every time I decide to go along with, to protect, or not to go along with my habit. So all my decision making process is being used for my habit, and habit decides future. Is it clear? This is a very common psychological talk impact. I hope you might be aware of this thing. If not, I am sharing, okay? So that means I always assume, I always think or know that I am deciding for my future. Oh, this is my future. I must take care of my future. Many people they talk, okay? Swamiji, you don't know. It's my future. It's my life. I see. So are you deciding for your future, or you are just deciding to go along with your habits, or not to go along with your habits because some painful situation has come? And later on, those habits only decides your future. So that means this decision making process is being used only for what? Like running without running. You understand? In treadmill, okay? You run without running. Cycle without cycling. Only you are exhausted, but you don't cover area. Is it clear? Now, if we look at our life, so far, whatever you have achieved, look back. Financially, socially, family-wise, blah, blah, blah. Now, sometimes don't you think that where you started, still you are there or not? Where you started a few years back, still you are there or not? Yes, you have achieved many things. For whom? For others. Not for yourself. Tell me, single thing what you have achieved for yourself. Please be very clear. What have you achieved for yourself, for one's own self? So in the name of achievement, I neglect myself. See, all the achievement should come to me. But it never comes to me. It always goes to others. So that means all the achievements are meant for others. And I am a perfect donkey. And why it happens? Because of avidya. And donkey is proud. Unless I am not telling you jokes. Unless you put the load on a donkey, donkey will not move. Have you ever observed that? Unless you put some load on a donkey, donkey will not move. Donkey loves to carry load. And once in a while you hit, then once in a while some food, okay? Good words. Okay, donkey doesn't look for good words, but we expect some good words, okay? That's because we are sophisticated donkeys. And of course, when we get tired, exhausted, like donkey kicks, also we kick. But the sad part is when donkey kicks, it breaks somebody's leg. But when we kick, even if it breaks, we have to take that person to the hospital also and pay for it. So that's called, managing the damage, called damage control. So coming back to the point. So all this thing happens because of ignorance. How and why? Again, we can look at. This is called seeing the growth. First, I assume if the surrounding is taken care, then only I will be taken care. If everybody is protected, then only I will be protected. Correct? That's why all sort of insurance. And especially if you go to this Italy is another one of the worst country related to insurance. To my understanding, Italy is one of the costliest country for insurance in Europe too. And as I always highlight, if you want to earn good money, at least go and stand near the zebra. Some accident should happen, okay? So even if your one finger is being broken, okay? One toe is broken near the zebra, don't worry. You don't have to work whole life. You can claim that much, insurance. And people do also, okay? Catch the doctor, they say spine break, this break, that break, something or other, they will create it, okay? Don't worry. That is also possible. Nothing is impossible in Italy, okay? However, coming back to the point. So insurance gives me security, I think. That's why I go for all sort of insurance. But after getting all sort of insurance, am I really protected? Am I really insured? In fact, my insecurity is much more to pay the premium of insurance. You understand what I am trying to say? So, what is being highlighted here is, it is exactly like, not that I have to be completely protected to neglect the world. No. Not that I have to only protect the world in order to be protected. No. It is exactly like, unless you get into the water, you will not know swimming. And unless you know swimming, you are not supposed to get into the water either. So what you need to do? Take the help of somebody. Or be very conscious and get into water. If you are very conscious, get into water, that means you must have been a great swimmer before, earlier. Or else take the help of somebody with the guidance, get into the water, drink some water, start learning swimming while drinking some water. So also here, this avidya makes me more engaged in my activities. So commitment towards karma, please understand. Commitment towards karma is very natural for everybody. Clear? Why commitment towards karma is natural? Because in karma, abhyasa, habit is involved. All my karma You can see in every action, each one of us has a pattern. So pattern is nothing but my habit. So that means again it's very clear. I am perpetuating, I am strengthening, I am maintaining my habit. And again, habit is nothing but my way of thinking. So it is just a combination of few factors here and there. So looking at these aspects, what we need to do here is to make sure to allow myself not to entangled with my ignorance. That means this karmanishta. So karmanishta means commitment towards the karma. Why karma? I do action not for anything else. Deep within somewhere I assume that the karma or karma phala will protect me. Is it clear? Whether it's religious, spiritual, mundane, anything. I am told spiritually, religiously, if I do karma in heaven, I will be protected. Nothing wrong in it, please understand. If I don't do any, I will be unprotected. That's worse, okay? That is the worst thing, okay? Oh, Swami, you told nothing to do. Okay, what I am doing is morning I get up, sleep. Get up, eat something and sleep. Hey, that is also karma, okay? That is also action. And it's better do something for yourself, for the society's sake. That's better. So here, this karmanishta, the commitment towards karma, to be reduced and jnananishta to be developed. Is it clear? Commitment towards knowledge to be developed. But we cannot really neglect karma. That's why we say very carefully. From karma, one becomes karma yogi. There is a difference between karma and karma yogi. A karma yogi, please understand, does the karma, but not committed to karma. But committed to what? The attitude, committed to the chitta suddhi. Is it clear? A karma yogi does better karma. In fact, is more engaged. But not committed to karma and karma phala. Because when I say karmanishtavan, I am a karmanishtavan, I am committed to karma. What does it mean? It means I am very clearly committed to what? Karma, which includes karma phala, the result of action. So keeping the result of action in my mind, I get up, I do everything. Whereas a karma yogi is not that. So karma yogi is committed to what? Not to the result of karma action, but here is for chitta suddhi, or you can say that for purification of the mind, preparedness of the mind. So then this is what we need to shift our attitude. Karmanishta to chitta suddhi, that is the bridging gap. From there comes what? Jnananishta. So keeping that in mind, he says, look, once this becomes abhava, when avidya, abhava is there, then comes hanam, moksha. So generally, as you see, the Sankhya people highlight abhava concept, that negation part. That's why this Buddhism is connected to Sankhya, related to Sankhya. Shunyam. Whereas we go along with the Purnam. This is the difference. We go with the completeness. So they go with this thing called, do you know what that called? Emptiness. In fact, they start with zero. But we don't say zero, we say Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. It's a very good concept we had, okay? I remember in our childhood, I don't know in your country, in your state, it was there or not. When you learn first Akshara Vyasa. So Akshara Vyasa day, what they do is, so the teacher, in our time, I remember the teacher, like Avadhani, we called her, okay? Appa, you cannot think, only that fellow hits, nothing else, okay? So on such and such day, we'll go there, and sometimes grandfather can do this. On the plate, on the auspicious day, they will keep the rice. So with the hand, holding the hand, in Orissa, they put 3 rounds, okay, on the top. First round, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva or Maheshwara. Then the child has to say Brahma, Vishnu, then in between ask some question to grandfather, okay? And then there will be fight, okay? In that also, a lot of fight happens, don't worry. So what I am highlighting is the zero, the shunyam, was being taught as Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. The Purnam Ityartha is a complete. But slowly you know better how it is being presented nowadays. So that's why he says, Tad drishehe kaivalyam iti. So that means what? Once the person starts seeing, so then seeing, then automatically seeing what? Purusham, automatically kaivalya comes. Kevalasya bhava kaivalyam iti. So that means what? Moksha ityartha. There is only one thing exists. Kaivalya means only one thing exists. That's why there is one Upanishad called Kaivalya Upanishad. Very nice to go through. Now, when this thing happens, we'll see. It's a beautiful point to look at, where he says, let us read so that it becomes a little bit easier. Viveka khyati aviplava hanopayah. He says, look, there is a viveka khyati. It's a very good word being used especially by Sankhya philosophy. All the Sankhya philosophers, they do use as viveka khyati, left, right. In fact, for them, viveka khyati is nothing that only gives Atma Sakshatkara. So because of that reason, they everywhere use the word Viveka Khyati. So mainly, so let us look at how this Viveka Khyati is being highlighted. Actually, when you look at this word Viveka Khyati, so Viveka, as you know, this discriminative faculty. Tasya Khyati means bodha, pratyaya, sakshatkara. So that means when you are able to see your discriminative faculty as it is, in short, means your viveka discriminative process is not contaminated at all. It processes as it is. So that is in short called Viveka Khyati. And how it happens, now we need to look at. Only it will happen when the person is Sattva Guna Pradhana. So that's why the gunas comes. So if you look at all our buddhi, including you can say Viveka Buddhi, the buddhi, the decision making faculty is being supported by Viveka. The decision making faculty is being supported by Viveka or not? Definitely. Now, when this discriminating faculty governs everything, now my discrimination comes based on what? Based on 3 gunas or not? Sometimes Sattva Guna predominant, sometimes, okay? Sometimes Rajoguna, sometimes Tamoguna. When the discrimination is, let us say, governed by predominated by tamoguna. What happens? We have got a beautiful example of this alcohol anonymous group. Remember the story, okay? So a doctor comes to an alcohol anonymous group. So wanted to teach them, show them some live example. How dangerous is this alcohol? So what he does? He brings 2 glasses and brings one insect. One glass he puts water and puts that insect. Look how this insect is swimming, how it's nice. Wow. Then after that, another glass he puts this alcohol and removes that insect, puts in that other glass where the alcohol is there. What happens? It starts not only dying, disintegrating, completely merging in the alcohol. Look how dangerous is this. Now do you understand how dangerous to drink every day alcohol? So should you drink? So he was very assured. Wow. So I have given a live lesson, okay? Live lecture. So one fellow from the behind raised the hand. What happened? So you will not drink? No, I must drink. Why? I had some doubt, but after seeing this thing, I have come to a conclusion. What is that conclusion? I must drink. What did I do? Because you taught me in such a way that if I drink every day, present day, all sort of virus, bacteria and whatnot. Now if I continue that, all virus, bacteria, everything will be killed inside so that I don't have to go to doctor, neither you. So now please understand. This discrimination faculty, is it governed by here, by tamas or not? Just example sake I am giving it. So you know better how the discriminative faculty is being governed by. Sometimes with what? With Rajaguna, Tamoguna or Sattoguna. But here we highlight it should be Sattoguna Pradhana. That's why whole life is nothing. Making one's own self to proceed towards Sattoguna. That's why day by day becoming finer and finer. This is called fine tuning. You cannot afford to become a gross person. Get my point what I am trying to say? You cannot afford at least to become a gross person. It will not work. This fine tuning has to be made. So that's why he says Viveka Khyati. When this Sattoguna Pradhan is there, he says Aviplava. So very nice. So Viplava, Plava, Viplava. So that means Viplava means lot of turmoil. Like war, confusion. So Aviplava, opposite of, absence of Viplava. Means mind is very calm, quiet, not disturbed at all. And when that mind, he says, only Hanaha Upaya. That means here he says, Viveka Khyati is something that takes care of mind. And this Viveka Khyati alone is the means for Hana, for Kaivalyam, for Moksha. That's why in Sankhya philosophy, Viveka Khyati is being highlighted a lot. So Viveka Khyati is nothing but predominantly Sattva Buddhi. So Sattva Guna Sampanna. So the one who is predominantly functioning with Sattva Guna. So that person, he says beautifully, will have this flow of thought, the pratyas, which will not create any turmoil. Because 2 types of people will not have turmoil. One is completely who is ignorant, sleeping. Other one who is awake. But all other will go through this. Depends upon gunas. Depends upon the level of guna. So that's why when this thing happens, then automatically that becomes hanasya upaya, hana upaya. This is becomes the means for hana. Then the next one, which is very nice, we'll see tomorrow, or sorry, next class. Tasya saptadha pranta bhumi prajna. It says beautifully, tasya purushasya, the one who is endowed with this called sattva buddhi pradhanaha viveka khyati. Now, this person has got 7 types of mind, 7 levels. Means how, very nicely I was looking at. 4 belongs to, we also need to look at very carefully in this thing. We call as 4 calls karya vimukti, and last 3 called chitta vimukti. It's a very good terminology to remember, okay? Jivan mukta is that person, if you want to use this word here. Jivan mukta means living liberated. This is only in Vedanta, not in Sakshya. So, Jivan mukta person is that person who is free from karya, action and its impact, not from its result, okay? Please remember. Action and its impact. And chitta vimukti, free from one's own mind and its impact. Here chitta mainly comes your memory and mind impacts. And how the 7 steps or 7 stages, 7 layers will be discussed in the next class.